No problem.
Great.
Oh, you're recording. Hey.
Yep.
Um.
And he's
Uh.
writing some notes.
I'm writing some notes about the rest of the evening. Great. Go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said it's still recording or still reporting the thing.
What do you mean?
You said the AI thing is still generating.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can go on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, neat. AI works behind the screens,
Behind the screens.
behind the scenes. Okay.
It's just on as long as, from when I put it on, it just stays on.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I have a little timely opener.
Perfect. I love it.
Sweet. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
You're listening to the Two Gomers podcast, a show about two regular guys in their 40s embracing midlife, chasing healthy aging, and inviting a nation along for the run. This is episode 404. Go to the doctor, huh? For March. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can do that. Let me do it again.
Okay. That's funny. Go
This
to
is
the
ep-
doctor. What?
this is episode this is episode 404. Go to the doctor for March 29th, 2024.
Welcome, everybody, to the 404th episode of the Two Gomers podcast. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man. So I was thinking, sometimes we like to drop the podcast like in time and space, like in seasonality,
Because
in
often
season.
we tape. This is how all podcasts are. You tape episodes far in advance, so you have time to
Right,
edit. You only have one day a week to record stuff like that. Yeah, so sometimes we
right,
like to cement that episode in time.
right. And if you listen back to it a year later or 6 months or 10 years
Mm,
or whatever,
yep,
there were just some things. So we're going to talk about at the end, maybe. Well, actually, no, we're going to talk about like some updates, right? About like the
yep.
Streaks app and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm out doing my daily streak of closing my rings
Nice.
today.
Yep.
And I was like, there's something about mid March, at least in Atlanta,
Mm,
that is so amazing.
wow.
So the cherry blossoms, like all these trees are covered in
Right.
flowers.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, so we have two of those trees in our yard. So
Awesome.
the left and the right of our house is covered in these, or has these beautiful trees that are in bloom, for like a week a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so cool.
Amazing.
The spring birds are chirping.
Wow.
It's like new life. I know you've got a lot of snow, but
Uh,
uh,
yeah, I'm so jealous right now.
the pool, they just uncovered the pool.
Wow.
So that means they always uncover the pool like 2 months before you can get in it.
Okay. All right. But at least it's a signifier that the pool will be open at some point.
Yeah.
It's
Because
not going to forever be closed. The signs of spring are there.
yeah, that's what it is. It's I don't know, it's just really cool
Yeah.
to kind of envision summer.
Mm,
Like we're gonna be at that pool. Will I
hmm
wear my rash guard or not? I don't know.
The big
Are
question, we
we
should do a whole app about it.
are we gonna talk about, I did get those branches out of the tree, so I won't get shamed for not
All
fixing
sorts of
that.
questions hanging out there that only the summertime can answer.
Yep. And then the last one, just seasonally,
Uh-huh.
is in the 5-year journal, dude.
Yeah.
So right now we are at the beginning of lockdown
Yes.
4 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yep. And this is one of my favorite times to get to in the 5-year journal because I can just
Yeah.
read what I was thinking and all these
Hmm.
guesses I was making about how long it was going to last in
Yeah.
2020, and mostly completely wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy because we're recording this on the 21st.
Hmm.
The thing that I read this morning in my 5-year journal was that it was start we I think I used the word um not station in place. What was it called? Gosh.
Stay in place.
Yeah, so there was all sorts of different names for it then, right? Like names for staying at home. But the thing that came
Right.
out today, I think,
Social
was
distancing. Yeah.
yeah, that you could only meet with 10 people or less at a time.
Oh, right. Lockdown, something in
Shelter in
place.
place. Shelter in
Shelter in place.
place.
There you go.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm, 4 years out
Yep.
thinking about,
Mm-hmm.
imagine the next 3 to 4, 5, 6 months of stuff is just not going to happen. And
Uh-huh.
forget all the sad stuff, I'm just saying we are fully back in way overcommitted,
Yep.
way too busy
Mm-hmm.
time again. And reading through these journals,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm nostalgic for that. And I'm
Mm.
once again recalibrate how on earth can we in a healthy way, without a global pandemic, be unhurried
Yeah,
and
how do
be
we
have margin and
right. Yep. We talked a
I
lot
don't know.
about that after it was things were settling down. Like how can we bring the positive things that we learned? I remember we did a whole episode on the new normal and the lessons that we learned from pandemic. And we talked
Right.
about, is it possible to bring that, this was still early, right? Is it
Yep.
possible to bring the things that we learned into what we're going through right now, which I totally agree with you, which is we're just right back to overwork, right back to overstimulation,
Mm-hmm.
over full lives. Have we
Yep.
learned nothing? I don't know. I think we have.
No, we totally have. We absolutely have.
Yep.
But I don't know. I was kind of longing for that
Uh-huh.
as I was on my walk today because I remember the cherry blossoms
Oh, yeah.
during
So
shelter
even
in
that is
place.
connecting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep connection, which is why I just wanted to mention it at the top of
Yeah.
the app.
Yep. Well, I'm very jealous. I mean, by the time this episode does come out, it will be spring, right?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Is today the first day of spring that we're recording it? I think it's
Is it?
tomorrow. Let me
Okay.
look. Wouldn't that be fun? We're recording this on March 21st. It's coming out the 29th. First, people love when I Google during the app. First day of
Mm-hmm.
spring 2024. What? That's weird. It gives me well, it says Tuesday the 19th through Thursday, June. Oh, the Tuesday the 19th. We're in the spring already.
Yay. We did it, dude.
We did it.
Sweet.
Now, the thing that I noticed in my 5-year journal is that I got to write in the leap day slot this year,
Oh, yeah. I
which is
love leap day
so fun.
slot.
Yep.
Bonus slot.
I love that bonus slot. And I think leap day should be a national holiday. I
That's
think we should
cool.
get that day off. It's just an extra day
Hmm.
anyway.
Yep. Speaking of that unhurry, why don't we just have one day?
Give us one day,
The whole
please.
world.
Every
Yep.
4 years, can't we have one day?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it was given to us by the rotation of the earth around the sun, right?
And that I was thinking a lot about it this year. Like, so what do we do with that one day? Just cram more work into it. Great
Yep.
job, everybody. We've got an extra day. Work an extra day.
Right? Like what if one day a week or a year had one extra hour for some reason? You know?
Yeah, but
We
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 wouldn't
would
know. Oh, I guess
would we
I
just
guess I know what
eat,
you mean.
drink,
I
and be merry, you know?
The whole leap day thing makes my head hurt a little bit because I can't believe it works.
Totally. So that means that the earth takes 365.25
Right, and a
days to go
quarter.
around the sun, right?
Yes.
So then why? I guess we figured it out with time and stuff. Just
Yeah.
divide the minutes and the seconds thus, so that we don't end up a quarter day every year into the night. You know?
Or like, so the way we figured it out, I did not think we were going to be talking about this.
Uh huh.
That it works and that we're not like a minute or two off
Right. Oh,
is
you know what? But
like
the
makes my head
minutes.
hurt. So it must be exactly 365 and a quarter
Uh huh.
to
But the
pull off
rotation.
this leap day heist.
I know. Well, the rotation of the Earth, though, that's what
Yeah,
makes it 24 hours.
right.
And then, it's going as it goes around, it's on its axis, and that's what gives us seasons such as cherry blossoms,
Right. Yep. Coming back to
the
the cherry
first
blossoms.
fruits of spring.
Yep.
But then you're right. How do we get to that point and we're not like adding? I guess it is weird.
It's just that we're a day ahead or behind. I can't even tell you which one
I
it
guess if
is
we
off the
didn't
top of my
do
head.
that
Every 4 years.
if we didn't do that every year
Mhm.
or every 4 years, we would get a day further into the year,
Exactly.
and that at some point summer would feel like winter in
That's it.
50
But
years
I'm
or
like,
whatever.
whoever figured this out, Aristotle or Plato or whoever figured it out,
Yeah,
I'm like, what? You did it, first of all. And
maybe it
second of
was
all, I can't believe it
Vangelis.
works. Yeah, yeah. Well, we just discovered fully into the spring, so that's fun.
Neat.
We love our seasons on the Gomers. Um, this doesn't have anything. This episode doesn't really have anything to do with that, but I do love knowing it's springtime with the Gomers. I love it.
Yeah,
We're past winter. Thank you,
there's
Jesus.
hope. I know we're heading towards Sun River. We're heading towards maybe some unhurried time with the fam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can come out there again.
I can't. Sorry.
Oh, dang it. I
So
know,
you are
actually.
headed that way, and that makes me happy. How about that?
Right. Well, and you live in the mountains already, so gels.
Lots of snow. Um,
Yep.
Now we are talking about something very different in this episode. When we get there, let me give you the let me start that over. That was dumb.
Okay.
So we are going to talk about something a little bit different than that in the core. Here's what to expect this episode. First, we're going to do a new segment called the Gomer Update. You'll hear about that in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The core, where we take a deeper look at a way that we're chasing health in midlife. That is going to be sorry. I'm all befuddled. Sorry, bro.
That's okay. Just say that is going to be.
That's going to be go to the doctor.
Mm.
And then we're going to end with what's giving us life this week. And of course, a ton of fun stuff along the way. But first, here on the Two Gomers podcast, we want to take. But first, here on the Two Gomers podcast, we want to talk about big new ideas in our strides toward health. But sometimes we need to update you on some things we already talked about. So now it's time for a Gomer update.
Sweet. Clap.
Yep.
Oh, it's all good. You feeling okay?
Yeah. Sorry. Once I
Okay.
screw up once, then I get in my head.
So. Oh, no, dude. No problem. Nothing to be.
And then I feel bad because you have to edit it.
Don't worry. It's like
okay.
Taparoo.
Yep.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3. Clap.
Clap. Sweet. All right. Here we are in the Gomer update. You know those things when people put like life update on, social media?
I sure do. That's what we're doing right now.
Although that makes me even nervous. We don't have anything like that.
This is I do think this happens quite a lot though when we do an episode and then we're like, and then something happens like almost immediately after that.
Right.
And then we don't actually talk about it. And so as we're thinking about the fact that we're okay with doing different segments to start each ep, I texted you and I was like, can we do a Gomer update on something that came up since our last episode?
Right.
To streak or not to streak.
Yep.
So, we were recording that episode, right? There was this moment where I told you that I had continued my closing my ring streak.
Yep.
beyond 500 days.
Mm, dang it. Yep.
You got mad, playing it up for the podcast a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. For sure. We talked about that afterwards. But it was fun. We love making mountains out of molehills whenever possible.
But also sort of
Just kidding.
not.
Well, no, I
Right?
mean, also I was bummed. Yeah, I
Bummed
mean,
is probably a better word for it. Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't mad at you. And remember, I even texted you. Maybe we said it on the episode. I was like, I didn't expect you to not do it, like not keep going, and also not tell me that you had stopped, because that wouldn't have made sense either.
I felt after that conversation that I had misjudged some things
Mm,
that I probably should have talked to you about at first because I had told you I would.
right.
Um, and so I think you were more bummed than you were mad. And so I just kind of
Definitely.
recognize that. Um, so I thought about it and then I don't know. I apologized, I believe. Yeah, I apologized because that's what I do.
I know. Just a life of apology.
Just a string of I'm sorries. Tis the life of a Gomer. Um, and then I said, listen, I'm gonna break my streak.
Yeah.
Closing my rings for 500. It ended up being 545 days.
Wow.
Ends now.
Wow. Just a painful band-aid to rip off.
And so I
Oh.
did break my streak yesterday by speaking of ripping off, I tore off that watch,
Mm-hmm.
placed it next to me, just kind of looked at it. I had to take it off because I mean, I didn't even get a free day.
Right.
I'm thinking about that.
You didn't go on a bender?
No, I didn't. I like rode my bike in the morning and walked 2 miles with the dog. And so my green ring was long closed by the time I said, this is it. I'm breaking my streak today so that we can start it tomorrow when we record, right? But my
Right.
exercise ring had been closed and my red ring, I can never remember what the red ring is called.
Calorie ring or move.
Movement ring, right.
Right? Yeah.
Um, that was about to be closed. And so
Right.
I took the thing off and there it sat.
Wow. You didn't know what time it was all night.
I had to check the time on my phone. Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh,
Baby's toy.
yuck, a baby's toy. Remember those days when we would check the time on our phone? How annoying
Mm-hmm.
is that?
Wow.
Then you have to touch your phone. Ew.
Yeah. Yuck.
Um, and then 11:59. It was like New Year's Eve. Just kidding. I was long asleep by the time this happened. But
Yep.
when it turned over to midnight, early this morning, my 545 turned to 0. Oh,
Damn.
wow.
That's a sacrifice, dude.
It's for the podcast.
Yep.
That's the decision I made. So, that's the update. The ramifications of that. The reason I did that because I do think it's good for the podcast
Mm-hmm.
because Anthony and I like to do things together. It was for the friendship because I felt bad.
Mm.
I want things to heal between us.
It was so contentious, dude. It's really rough. No, I think
That's
this
why,
I think
that's why I'm
this
saying
is
that because it was so not that.
right, totally. I think this is good and fun though. I mean, cuz now we're on the same page again.
Right.
That feels totally good.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got this Streaks app that we discovered during the
Right.
recording of that podcast because of the algorithm listening,
I guess
right?
so.
That's how good the algorithm is.
So we are going to record a whole app about what we're putting on this Streaks app.
Right.
Um, so discovering that new app, I don't know if this is what you were going to say, also made it make sense for me to restart my rings
Right.
streak.
Yep.
So that is one of the things that I have. The Streaks app basically is you can put whatever you want there to keep track of things that you want to do to become more healthy. And I just
Right.
put that rings thing on it and it's set it to 0, right?
Perfect. Yep, I've got
So I don't
mine.
have one thing
Yep.
that says 545 and everything else is like 8.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know what mine is. Uh cuz it comes up as every one, like when it says every single one you have closed,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Now I'm just making sure your rings are at 0 today, right?
Yep.
Sweet. So there we are,
Yep.
folks. That's the
Yeah,
update.
yesterday I didn't do my walk. So I
You
did
could
the
have just
opposite.
taken your watch off and
I
taken your
know.
walk.
Well, my other problem is my watch is dying, dude. My watch
Uh-oh.
is failing. I know.
Uh-oh. Well, I would say, I know this is like, I don't know if this is good advice, is buy a new one before your old one fails, or else there goes that streak.
Is there a way to cuz you can't do the stand ring cuz you can get move and activity easily via other apps in your phone that if they sync to your watch. But you can't get
Oh,
stand.
I don't even know how to do that, which is probably
Yep.
good. Um,
Well, yeah, so I've
so
had to do that before. So
okay,
like if your watch dies or something
yep.
like that, you can put in a Runkeeper
Mm-hmm.
activity
Right.
and it'll sync over and you'll get the move and the activity, but you can't
Okay.
get the stand.
Yeah.
And
And
I'll
really
stand
the only
here.
thing that the rings keeps track of as far as streaking is the activity ring, the red one. I don't know if you knew that.
Right. Yep.
So, um, but I promise you, Nation, I did have 545 on every single ring.
Yep. You screenshotted it, sent it to me.
Yep.
You can put it up there.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So so I'm really, really excited about this, dude, because
Great.
we love a restart. I can't
Mm-hmm.
wait to hit 546 together, holding hands. How many
Walking walking into the sunset, holding hands, getting
yep,
546. Hey
in Sun
Siri,
River?
what is 546 days from now? Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Will
Wow.
be that day. Oh my gosh, how
Wow.
depressing.
Okay, so when was it? September
September
what?
18th, 2025.
Wow.
I
I
will
mean,
break
this
my streak again.
makes me so excited because
I
what is
wait, I just
life
said I would break my streak. What I meant was I'd break my record.
right. Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, so like what is the world gonna look like? I mean, will there be flying cars?
Yeah,
Will
hoverboards,
there, yeah, magnetic or no dust repellent paper,
yeah,
dust
colorful
busters?
hats. We'll all be wearing our
Yep,
pants inside out. I can't wait for
yep.
2025.
Wow, the future, the year 2000, dude.
Can't wait. All right, well, that's the Gomer update. I feel good about it.
Okay,
I did feel the
me
sting,
too.
the sharp sting of having to break that streak. But listen, I'm feeling great this morning. I'm ready to move forward. One of those ways that we're going to keep being healthy is we want to talk about today, going to the doctor. So should we head over to that core?
All right, let's do it. Man, you keep breaking up, dude, real bad.
Oh, really?
You're like super pixelated, and I can barely even see any video.
I mean, my internet's good.
Yeah, me too. We'll keep going.
Okay.
And then we'll just monitor it. Are you still
Okay.
recording?
Yep.
Oh, man, we're really delayed.
Uh-oh. Here, can we clap and see?
Yep. Now you're back.
Okay.
Now you're back. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
I mean, that seems regular.
Do it one more time. Now
Okay.
you're like actually not pixelated. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
That's decent.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Let's just
All
do
right.
it.
Yep.
Uh, oh, I
What do
think
we do?
you say, hey, how's it
Oh,
going?
My turn. Sorry.
Yep.
Hey, how's it going over there? Dr. Knutson here. Just saying, go to the doctor, check it out. You got to get your stuff checked out. You want to keep healthy, so you gotta, better to know than not to know. So just go to the doctor, okay?
It would have been great to have. I mean, that was the real Knutson. I don't want to break the fourth
hmm
wall here
hmm
at all, but
hmm
to have
hmm
him stay around, but he just ran out again. Sorry, bye, Dr. Knutson. Dude, I've been to the doctor so much lately.
I know you've been a real doctor,
Goer.
Dr. Gomer. So I'm not as much,
Yeah.
but I do have some thoughts on this for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
have one main one.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I
do
mean, the
have
reason
three
we.
C's I wanted to talk about.
Oh, baby. Three
hmm
C's. Hello. I can't wait. Just skip right there. Just kidding. Let's set it up a little bit.
Okay.
Um, the we've had this on our list of topics
hmm
for middle age health
hmm
for a while. Um, I think it's grown in estimation in my mind because I have been to the doctor so often. I will also say that I felt like we should talk about this because a lot of the conversations that I've had with people our age about going to the doctor or the dentist, the response a lot is, "Oh man, I should go to the doctor."
Right. Yeah. It's like I probably should do that.
Dentists probably even more like, "Oh man, I haven't been to the dentist in 5 years."
Right. Although I love going to the dentist, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I love getting that cleaning.
Mm.
I love
Ooh,
that
we
feeling.
differ. We totally differ here.
Yeah.
I don't like the feeling of that like rotating guy,
Yeah.
the polisher.
Right. Zzz.
It makes it
Sorry, that can be triggering for people. You're right. And
th
Erin really doesn't she has serious, we've talked about it many times, but has serious like dental, doesn't like talking about it or
right.
going to it. Yep.
Yes. Um which is maybe why when I mentioned that I went to the dentist, I had so many people say, "Oof, I should probably do that." I don't know, it just
Mm.
like over and over again I have noticed people saying that. And then when I talk about my woes,
Uh-huh.
nobody, I mean, there's nothing people like more than to talk about their woes, their bodily woes, right?
Yeah.
In middle
Right.
age. That's a thing, right? Um the thing you were talking about in City Slickers, right? We love talking about our bowel movements and what we can feel and not
Right.
feel anymore.
Right. Well, actually, okay. I actually don't really like talking about them, and I don't really like hearing about them.
Really? Okay.
No, I mean,
Interesting.
well, that could be a hot take and just in the moment. But maybe it's that I don't like complaining about them.
Could be.
Maybe it's more that. Like, I don't like to be like, my health sucks.
So
Like that.
that's not what I'm talking about. So I've got this club leg.
Right. You've got the club leg. Right.
Can't feel it's gotten better. Speaking
hmm
of Gomer updates, gotten a little bit better because I went to the doctor.
Yep.
It no longer is causing me pain, but it's still kind of numb.
Yep.
Um, when you say that to someone, they will inevitably tell you what's wrong with them. Maybe that's what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. And so
Sure.
it's
No
kind of
problem.
like,
And yeah.
I'm busy too. I'm busy, right? That we have these
Yeah.
busy
I'm
battles.
busier. Right.
So it's
Right.
kind of like that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. No, no, no. I get that. And right, sharing our difficulties makes it easier, right? So we're
Yep.
we're shining darkness into, or shining darkness, we're shining light into the darkness.
Yeah.
And like it's just like when we've talked about depression or anxiety or I mean even when we talked about running and
Mm-hmm.
the Code Brown thing, people
Yeah.
were like, I have that worry too, right? And then you're like not as worried about it because we talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think my what I was noticing is that so many people, after they tell me their woe or their woes, are like, I should
Mhm.
probably get that checked out.
Sure.
They haven't, right?
hmm
And no judgment. It's the same with me often. I have something going on, and I'm just like, going to the doctor, it costs money, takes time,
Right.
is inconvenient, sometimes is embarrassing.
Yep.
And so I just won't go. And so I really felt like we need to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah. It's one of those things where kind of like when your car starts making noises, you're like, "Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it'll fix itself." It's like you'd rather not
Yes,
know. And
definitely.
then I think the problem is, I mean, to use the car analogy,
Mm-hmm.
at some point it's just not going to start. Or at
Yep.
some point it's going to you're going to get forced to go to the mechanic or in this case the doctor. So,
Right.
maybe like one of mine is preventative that I'll
Uh-huh.
talk about. And
Okay.
so going there before you absolutely have to, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
can subvert some, some challenges that would be way worse.
Yeah, and I do know that's a thing with doctors with some people, which is
Hmm.
I'd rather not know, right?
Right.
There's this
Yep.
ignorance is bliss
Hmm.
thing. And so what if I go to the doctor and find out that I'm at risk for cancer?
Hmm.
I'd rather not know that.
Right.
I've had people say that out loud to me,
Hmm. Hmm.
this ignorance is bliss thing.
Right.
So, the preventative, I would say it for me is a dentist thing, right? That
Right.
I notice when I don't go to the dentist for a while, I like forget until I'm in pain. And
Mm.
my life is just so much better if I just do what they say when you're at the dentist, which is let's make your next appointment 6 months from now. Try to get
Yeah.
it at 2:30.
2:30, the best time for dentist. I think those should always be sold out because it's the greatest time ever.
Last time I was at the dentist, I took a picture of the clock while I was in the chair, 2:30,
Yeah.
sent it to you. So, in conclusion of this, like why we're doing this, really something I've been noticing more and more as I've aged and all my peers have aged
Hmm.
is going to the doctor to stay healthy or to get healthy is not a given.
Hmm. Mm.
There are so many people that I've talked to and that I know that avoid the doctor. And
Right.
I think that that's probably something that needs to change if we're really going to chase healthy aging in middle age.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if we'll definitely end with some practicals, but it's like we should almost just say, how when, you've got to do something for school or
Yep.
you send your kid to a camp and they're like, we require a physical,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Maybe the Gomers need to require a physical. If you're going to listen to the Gomers or if you're going to record on the Gomers, you got to get yourself get yourself checked out cuz I wrote down in my notes, it's better to know than to not know. And
Hmm.
I definitely fall into the category of I'd rather not know,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, uh like cuz I've always worried about, you know, I mean I've had various stages in my life of extreme anxiety about maybe I've got it's not a tumor, like I've
Yeah.
got a tumor in my brain.
Yeah.
I used to get headaches all the time and I'm like I'm probably going to die soon.
I remember you telling
I'm
me this.
sure people
Yeah.
can relate to that, but I've had panic attacks before over that kind of stuff
So
where
in
I've
those moments, do you go get it checked out or do you just have anxiety
mm,
around it?
well, in my case I usually tell Erin
Uh-huh.
and she's like she is so tough love. I love her in so many ways, but one of her ways is like no, it's not that. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I remember going to Thanksgiving dinner on MacDill Air Force Base with a bunch of friends from our old church when back in
Okay.
Tampa. And dude, I felt this weird like I don't know, something happened in my head
Yeah.
and I just sat lifeless for the entire Thanksgiving dinner like I'm probably going to die tonight.
Wow.
Like and it just turned out I just had a really bad headache.
Well, yeah.
But
And I would say most of the time that's probably the result, right? You need someone to say, calm down. It's probably not that. You can finish your Thanksgiving dinner. Um,
Right.
the tough love that Jessica gives me is like, if you're worried about it, go to the doctor.
Yeah. Okay. So Aaron absolutely does that too. She just
Yeah.
knows me. I
Yep.
mean, like we
For
always
sure.
used to say about my grandma Georgeson,
Mm.
like she was a hypochondriac that also had health issues. So it's like
Right.
the
A lethal
lethal
combination. Oh,
combination.
shoot. That sounded way worse than it should have. Sorry.
No, I said the same thing. No, it's true. We used to laugh with her about it,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I clearly got that. Although I don't have a lot of health issues at this point. Knock on wood.
Uh huh.
You've been the Gomer with, even though you've been way more active in the 16-year journey of the Gomer so far. You've had way more problems, dude. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
say.
I mean, I have bad eyes.
You have bad
I
eyes.
have I have bad eyes. I have pretty bad teeth.
Uh huh.
Um, I think that, I mean, like it or not, I think that when you are more active, especially when you're working out,
Mm.
you actually are more prone to injury. Um,
Which is funny, and we've talked about that a million times. But it's like, well, then why do you run? It's only bad for your knees, and it's only bad for your back or
well,
whatever.
okay. I would say you're more prone to active injury and less prone to passive injury.
Mm.
So
Yep.
I actually think because my muscles are
That's really good.
stronger,
Yep.
um, I'm not just like throwing out my back randomly when I sneeze as much anymore,
Right. Where
which
on your honeymoon you
which
almost
happened on my honeymoon, right?
had to call it. Sorry, it's done.
Pick a mulligan. So that doesn't happen to me as much when I'm strong, right? But
Right.
if you're running out on the road, you have more of a chance of getting hit by a car, right? If you're
Yep.
pounding the pavement,
Mm-hmm.
plantar fasciitis
Yep.
can be more likely to happen. And
Right.
so, um, I don't know why. All I know is this past year and a half or so, but then like I have this throat surgery I had to get.
Right. And that had nothing to do with running, or that was just happened, right? Well, I mean, you talk a lot.
Right. There was like an overuse
Mm-hmm.
element to it, right? Probably would have healed on its own if my job wasn't talking and singing.
I wonder how much more you talk than me.
I don't know. Great question, because I'm also an introvert. Whenever I don't have to talk, I don't,
I know, but I'm just thinking, like, I mean, because you're on Zoom like all day,
which is bad for your voice.
so that's terrible for yeah. And
Hmm.
then you're also, when you're in those, you do a lot of listening though to people, but you also have to coach people and
Yeah.
speak. And I wonder if you talk, if you speak, if you use your voice 75% more than me.
Yeah. 50% more even.
I mean, my job, I'm playing music. I'm not talking at all.
Right.
I say hi to people and have conversations, but I tend, I think, to listen more than I speak, not out of practice, just because that's kind of my personality type.
Right.
I wonder if people would actually say that. I think they would.
I mean, it's interesting because we're talking here about the physical act of speaking, right?
Right.
The overuse
Mm-hmm.
of that. There's also the emotional component of my job being a lot of the times when I'm talking to people, it is high emotion. I'm coaching,
Sure.
I'm leading them through, helping them navigate through things.
Yeah.
And so I do think I have a Zoom voice. I project differently on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever it was, I had to have dang throat surgery because I had nodes, nodules, stuff like that.
Right.
So there's that. I have this numb leg
Mm-hmm.
that I've been to, I'm not even kidding, like 10 different specialists for
Mm-hmm.
to try to figure it out.
Jeez.
I had to get bifocals, which I mentioned that I was going to on the podcast, but Gomer update, I'm wearing bifocals right now.
That's it right now.
Right now.
Whoa.
So that's several trips to the eye doctor. Then I had a broken crown that I had to
Oh.
get taken care of at the dentist.
Yeah.
And that ended up being like 5 dentist visits.
Eesh. Okay,
So
so
I
that's why you
get
don't
the
like it so
reason why
much.
people don't want to do this, because it also just takes a lot of time to go to the
Mm-hmm.
doctor.
Time, money, finding that
Annoying.
finding that. Sorry, time, money, finding that insurance card, finding that HSA card. Where the heck is it? Does it have a PIN number? How much money do I have in that account? Eh,
Remembering your password for the website.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much arduous labor to even go finding a
I
doctor.
have a post-it note right now. I'm just gonna flash it because I don't want you to see the number. But it has this really
Yeah.
high number on it that says this amount needs to go eventually back into savings from our Flex account,
Mm,
because the Flex account gets built up, and we have gone to the doctor so much this year already that we
yeah.
are it's in the high four digits. Like,
Oh,
medically,
dang.
we're just
Yeah.
we just are it just costs a ton of money.
Yep. No,
That's
I know.
there but not there immediately. So it's also like, well, if I don't have to deal with that by not going to the doctor, maybe I won't. The issue, and I think we're circling around this, is that it's not better to not know. Sorry about the double
Yeah.
negative there. It's
No,
better to know in the long run for your health.
well,
For
so
your health.
okay, there's this. So I have my three C's.
I want to hear these three C's.
Okay. Cholesterol, chiropractor, colonoscopy.
Wow, what a trifecta.
And so I was thinking about with the third C, which you did.
Colonoscopy?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, you didn't do it. Okay. All
True
right, here,
Gomer
hold on.
confession. They keep calling me and saying, uh when are you gonna schedule that?
Okay. Okay. This is good. So first of all, I was like, I thought you did, but then you never told me about it because you talked about that you were gonna do it.
I
Then we
know.
never talked about doing it. This is actually intervention.
Oh my
This is
gosh, I'm getting
live, folks.
called out, folks. I was just gonna
This
tell you how good I am at going to the doctor.
man,
Oh
this
boy, oh boy.
was
Why'd you have to
not.
bring
This
up
is
the colon?
unscripted. Oh boy. But what I was thinking about when you said it's
Yeah,
better to know than to not know, and think about the campaign for
yeah,
getting people mammograms, right? And for people, you know, go get like celebrities on
yep,
TV saying go get checked up for
yep,
colonoscopy for all that stuff. Um and the reason is because it is better to know than to not know.
yes.
And the sooner you know, the sooner you can deal with it. And
Can
so
I tell you the dumbest excuse I have for not getting a colonoscopy?
sure.
I mean, all the excuses are dumb because of
Yep.
what you're saying right now, because it's better to know
Right.
and it's preventative.
Right.
And I'm looking at the text I got on Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
It says, it's from North Country Healthcare, my doctor's office. If you are age 45 or older, it is time to get a colon cancer test.
Mm-hmm.
Colorectal screenings save lives. To schedule, call this number. Now, I believe all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go because it sounds uncomfortable and bad to me.
Right. Sounds terrible.
So I thought, remember this
Also
thing you
sounds
told me
funny.
about? Like, is it Tom Hanks or some such? All these guys, Bill Murray. What is it?
Oh yeah.
These these guys
Uh
have colonoscopy
Steve
parties. Steve
Steve
Martin.
Martin?
Yeah.
See, maybe those guys. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks, all those guys that were like 60 something did
Yep.
it as a party.
So I thought, what great content
Yeah.
for the
No.
Gophers.
That's not stupid. That's amazing. And I think I love that. And I'm totally down for that.
I guess what I mean by that is, and we've talked about this a lot over the years, we'll grasp for any excuse not to do something that makes us uncomfortable
Right.
that we don't want to do. And
Yeah.
so the the truth is, getting a colonoscopy because I'm 46 could save my life.
Right.
But nah. You
but
know,
but
but
right.
nah.
But
But nah. That's my motto, I guess.
right.
Yeah.
Uh, the thing is, if I mean this is like really hard to say, but it's like if you have something
Yeah.
in there or somebody does, it's there whether you find it or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like
Mm-hmm.
this is going back to me on Thanksgiving. I'd rather just not know if I had a tumor, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, well, see, but I was freaking out because I just was freaking out. So that doesn't really apply, but it's like
Yeah.
if you have something in there, better to find it.
Whether you're a hypochondriac or you just
Right.
figure that I will never get sick again in my life, right?
Right.
The same truth applies that we
Yep.
will avoid the doctor, and that's not something you should do.
Yeah. It's that thing where you think, well, it won't happen to me,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah,
Or
it is.
if
Definitely
I
it is.
or if I don't know about it, then it just isn't. It just like ignorance is bliss, like you were saying.
Yep. Yeah. And I think as a middle-aged person, and I'll just speak for myself, I don't want to be that person
Mm.
that ignorance isn't bliss, right? I
Right,
want
because you might
to
be anxious about it anyways.
right. I want to fix what's wrong if it's
Mm-hmm.
fixable, and I want to prevent things that could go wrong early. And then there's also like maintenance. I want to
Mm.
maintain uh the health that I have. And if going to the doctor and getting good advice on how to do that is going to help, then I want to do that. And that's kind of the checkups, right?
Right.
The biannual checkups that also are like, I don't nothing hurts too bad right now, so I don't have to go to that.
Yeah.
But I also want to maintain and
Main yeah,
sometimes
maintain
clean out
and
and oftentimes
maintain
cough. Turn my own cough.
oh man. I mean maintain what you've got
Mm-hmm.
cuz entropy we're just going to keep falling apart.
Entropy
So
falling apart. Yep.
right? What is this the law second law of thermodynamics, third law, whatever it is that things fall apart?
Yep.
It was on The Martian.
Deteriorate. Mm-hmm.
I only know about
Decay.
that cuz of Matt Damon. Uh let me talk about one of the other C's real quick. Ooh,
I'd
I
like to
had
hear
to
about
actually
both of the other ones if you don't mind.
sure, I actually wrote down another one, cynical.
Cynicism. Can you go to the doctor for that?
No, no, no. I think there's also that.
Uh-huh.
There's a real like I definitely like natural medicine and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh there is a definite cynicism as well to the whole medical industry that they're
You're
not
right.
really into preventative care. They're just kind of into like prescribing you drugs and stuff. I mean that you know what I
I
mean?
mean, I have family members who do not listen to this, not on my
Hmm.
side, do not listen to
Hmm.
this podcast, never would, that
Hmm.
will not go to the doctor because they
Right.
are cynical of, I think it's what you're saying, which is cynical of like big pharma
Sure.
and
Yep.
what are they going to do to me that I haven't given them permission to do when I'm in there? What
Right.
um are they going to inject into me without my
Right.
knowing? That kind of stuff. So, um I mean, I guess I don't know all of our listeners, of course. That might be out there and they're mad at us right now about saying you should go to the doctor.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, I man, keep coming with these weird takes, but I do have some of that
Sure.
cynicism where I'm like, it is a business and they have to make money. And so
Yep.
where is their like, bottom line work if you're healthy?
Well, and I have a tip about that when we get
Okay.
there. I will also confess, along with you, that cynicism about big business, even when it comes to the medical field, is not absent in my life, right?
Right.
And I
Yep.
have had plenty of experiences at doctor's offices where I'm like, what? Why did I just pay for that?
Right.
I mean, we went through something with Jack when he was young where we were at doctors every day
Huh.
and none of them figured out what was wrong with him. And we did. We did it.
We did
Jessica and I,
you
we,
yep.
we, like trial and error, which sounds really bad when you're talking about your infant child. But we figured out what he was allergic to, and we figured out what not to give to him anymore. And we
Yep.
were like, why did we spend those thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
Hmm.
on something that we figured out ourselves? So that's there. And so maybe naming that is enough, but like I'm
Sure.
talking about like I can't see. Like I have people that are like my vision got so it's getting so bad, and I'm like, go to the eye doctor then.
Right. No, you just gotta eat more carrots. Right. I
Right.
don't
I'm
know.
sorry, that's just not it's if you can't see, you need to get glasses.
Right. And there's professionals for that, right?
Yeah,
Um, and that's yeah. So taking the cynicism out, like that, there is a tension there a little bit.
I get it, and I
Now,
feel it too.
did you bring Jack to the chiropractor? Wasn't that one of the things that helped, or was that
Noah,
Noah?
yeah, we brought Noah to the baby chiropractor, which is fun to say because then
Yeah.
I always imagine a baby chiropractor. Like the
Yep.
chiropractor is a baby,
Oh,
but that's that's not what it was. The
yeah.
baby chiropractor is a chiropractor that specializes in backs of infants, right?
Right. Right. The spines.
Yes, and
Um.
actually the baby chiropractor like did wonders for Noah's sleep when we couldn't figure out anything. So there's the other side of the story, right? Like we
Yeah.
couldn't figure that out, and somebody was like, "Ever brought him to the chiropractor?" We did, and it was like,
Hmm.
"That did it."
I remember. I totally remember that. Yeah. So there's one of my three C's. I
Okay.
started going to the chiropractor this summer. We could
Yep.
do a whole episode about that, and probably we should.
I think we
I'll
should
just
because I also went to the chiropractor around this leg stuff, and I have enough funny stories probably to fill an app around that.
amazing. Okay. So first C, chiropractor. I absolutely love
Mm-hmm.
love our chiropractors. I'm just gonna say Jagarin and Jessica, Mustard Seed Chiropractic in Smyrna. They rule. I would recommend them a million times over. I love them. I was just there
Love it.
today. Feel amazing.
Mm,
First C done. We talked about the cynicism of medicine, but my cholesterol's super high,
right.
and it has been for years. And you know what? I finally went to the doctor and I
Yeah.
finally got medication.
Mm,
And like that was for me, like, I always wanted to try to solve things, forks over knives,
yep.
eat better,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
terrible at it.
Well, and also there's genetics involved,
And all
right?
there's totally genetics. I've been down in weight. I've been up in weight, over the
Yeah,
last 15 years. And my cholesterol, with the exception of one time when I like bottomed out and I couldn't eat for months,
which isn't
my
good.
cholesterol has maintained the same since I was like 22, the first time I
You
checked it.
you took the words right out of my mouth. There are some people that like that's just a reality in their lives no matter what.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
I've had enough conversations with doctors and with people to know that
Yep.
me that C not being an issue in my life and it being an issue in yours
Mm,
is way more about genetics than
yep.
it is about diet.
For sure. So I
I said that
finally,
very strongly. And again,
no.
I mean, is this the episode we're going to say I'm not a doctor the most? I don't know. But
Yeah.
the
Right.
point kind of is I'm not a doctor, right? And so
Right.
take what I just said or leave it. You have to go to the doctor and find out.
Yep. They were like, you got to get that down.
Hmm.
And so I'm I think 6 months into that, and I'm due
Oh,
for
okay.
my checkup. I'm
Yeah.
super curious to see where that's like what that's done. It'll be
Did
amazing to see if that number significantly comes down.
oh
But
man, this is we got to do a Gomer update about it.
okay, so we'll do a Gomer update about that.
Yeah.
It was my first real prescription, and
Oh.
you and I have talked about. Well, actually, that's not true. I've had a prescription for like beta blockers before.
Oh right. Yep.
Um,
Hmm.
uh, but geez, that's a whole nother one. We could talk about a different time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh boy, we
but
just
it's
brought
like
something else up.
I know, but I didn't want. You're always afraid if you're going to go on a medication, like it's going to mess you up or it's going to this or that. No,
Uh-huh.
and I've also had prescription for anxiety medication before and depression. So just
There you
laying
go.
that out there too. Um, okay, cynicism, cholesterol, chiropractor,
Uh-huh.
colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy. Wait a minute. How do we get back to this?
So Nope. So I'm 44, not yet 45. And when's the age? 46?
45.
It is okay. So it is, and you just had your birthday not too long ago. So you missed the whole year.
But
Okay.
I've been waiting for Anthony to celebrate
All
his
right.
birthday. Happy birthday. And then the
Great. We
next
have a
day.
month. Okay. So we'll figure out about doing it together or doing it virtually together. Make a podcast about it.
Gold.
Sounds
It's
awesome.
gold right there.
That is gold, dude.
Brown gold.
Oh, yuck. Drinking that thing. I mean, I think
That's what
there's
I've heard
easier
is the
ways to
worst
do it
part is
now.
drinking that thing.
See, maybe we said this and we'll say it again. Getting fully cleaned out sounds awesome.
Listen,
I'm not
I
going to
am
lie.
going to have this attitude from now on.
I
You're
think
right.
that sounds amazing. Like starting over.
We love when the garbage comes,
Yeah,
takes our trash away, clears it out.
right.
Okay,
I think
great.
that sounds great. I mean, I love doing like, we're going to talk about on the Streaks app,
Yep.
a weekly fast where you don't
Mhm.
eat anything except liquids for 24 hours.
Clear that out.
I love that. I'm like, nothing's been in here.
Me too. I love it too. So if we love those things, then we should love the colonoscopy idea. I cannot wait. Now I've been completely converted. Another C conversion. Colonoscopy conversion.
Oh man, there's the sixth C.
Can I just give a couple tips that I have around
Yeah,
this before we go to
absolutely.
what's giving us life this week? First one is ask around for good
Good one.
doctors.
Yeah, that's good.
And so I love that you just plugged your chiropractor. That's the kind of thing that I mean. Like if somebody has been, so I did that a lot with my leg stuff. And actually I didn't at first. And then once I started doing that, I started making a lot of progress in figuring out what this was. So I'll
Mm,
shout out Flagstaff Bone and Joint
mm,
has been giving me steroid shots in my hip, right where the
wow,
nerve is. And it's the only thing that's helped me so far.
wow.
And that came from a referral from somebody I know.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the chiropractor. I just think that there maybe going back to the cynicism stuff, that's a tip that helps me with that is knowing the doctor I'm going to, somebody else has had a positive experience with them.
Yep, that's really good. I mean, I went to our chiropractor because of that.
Right.
Not only did I know them beforehand, we've been friends at church for 5 or 6 years. We were at their
Mm-hmm.
wedding. They're
Yeah.
amazing. But my buddy Jake went from not being able to run to
Mm-hmm.
running
Yeah.
because, and he did an Instagram post about it.
Yep.
And I was like, done, sold.
Yeah.
I trust this guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, dude, it's the thing of like, let me tell you a story about a man who told me thing I ever did. Like the witness of somebody that actually was healed or
Yep.
learned. It's like, okay, I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah. So that's my first tip. And then my other tip is a Anthony tip. Just
Oh
do
boy.
it.
Nike.
It's better. We've said this several times. It's better to know than not to know. It just is.
Hmm.
It's better to maintain than not to maintain. It's
Yep.
better to prevent than to be
Yeah.
too late. And
Yep.
that is a different tip than I would give my 19-year-old self, right? This has
Sure.
been escalated now that I'm 46.
Yep.
And I just need to do it. And sometimes it costs money. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes, unfortunately, it reveals something that's unhealthy about you,
Mm-hmm.
me, right? And
Right.
I just need to steel myself and say, it's better to do this than not to do it. I got to just do it.
Great.
All right, bro. Go to the doctor, huh? That's how Jessica
Huh?
Topless would say it.
Huh?
Go to the doctor. All right, let's go to what's giving us life this week.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. See, that's lined up so much better now.
I know. Sometimes it just lines itself up. Weird. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What's giving us life this week? We're about to close the app, but before we do, we always like to end on a high
Mm.
and talk about what is good in our lives, something that's given us life the past week. Should I start? You want to start? What do you
Sure,
want to
go
do?
for it.
Okay. We talked a lot about my history of being a mag fam.
Mm,
I grew up with magazines in the
yep,
house.
right.
Entertainment Weekly, The New Yorker. Hey,
Mm.
I'm reading I'm reading
I'm
the New
walking.
Yorker over here.
I'm walking here. I'm walking. I'm
Hey,
reading the New
I'm
York.
reading a cartoon I don't understand over here, The New Yorker. I thought of fun actually. I'll give you my idea when I finish this, but like uh, I just grew up with like magazines next to the toilet, magazines in the like magazines everywhere. It was our
Yep.
app. It was apps
Yeah.
before they were apps,
It
right?
was your killer app. The app before it was an app, a magazine.
So
Yep.
then I had this kind of like non-mag season of my life,
Yep.
probably because of apps, right? Why get a magazine when
Right.
you have news apps? But it's
Yep.
never the same. There's always been a hole in my heart.
Hmm.
And so this Christmas and birthday, uh, Christmas, and then my birthday was in January, I asked for some magazine subscriptions.
Okay. These glossy pages.
The gloss, the amount of words on one
Mm-hmm.
page, the physical feel of it. And so I asked for the Atlantic
Mm-hmm.
and I asked for the New Yorker.
Wow.
Receive them both. Atlantic comes once a month. Atlantic comes once a month, and the New Yorker is a weekly mag. And
Wow.
oh my goodness, bro. Jessica and I were sitting last night on the couch. She's
Yep.
reading the Atlantic. I was reading the New York, and I was like, we are the whitest, liberalist Christians I know. And all somebody has to do is walk in and take a picture of this scene.
Right.
Um, it's just so fun to have them around. We also get This Old House magazine, but it just ended. Lots of magazines
Oh,
you just can't get anymore. Entertainment Weekly doesn't have a print edition anymore.
really?
Yeah, it's not financially feasible for them to do it. And so
Hmm.
they have gone to just app only.
Really?
But there's
One
some holdouts.
Runner's World?
Runner's World still has a print version. Yes. But
I
we
was
haven't
just watching
subscribed to it
Walter
for a while.
Mitty again.
Oh, right. Yeah,
And Life, remember that's all about Life
that's it.
magazine going out of business.
Exactly. So a lot of magazines are going through that, but they're moving to online only. But
Mm-hmm.
the holdouts they're still holdouts. And I love to hold those holdouts in my hand
Mm.
and read them. Some of the ink kind of comes off on my fingers,
Yep.
and then I'm able to just is a very, very different experience for me than just scrolling through a news app. So
Oh
we are
yeah.
once again a mag fam, and it's
Wow.
bringing me a ton of life.
Dang. What about news? Do you get a newspaper?
Well, I mean, no, there's plenty of news in these magazines, but who are we
Sure.
kidding? It's written from a certain point of view.
Right. Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi would say that. Um, a certain point of view.
Right.
And
Wait, but there's
so,
that one writer for the New Yorker that I can't think of. Liturgy of the Ordinary.
oh, not James
Um,
Brooks. Shoot,
no, David Brooks.
David
No,
Brooks, right?
not him though. Although I
Not
love
him
him
either.
too. Um,
I mean, I have
can't
to
think of her
spend
name
more
right now.
time in these mags to really
Mm-hmm.
figure out who my favorite writers are. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
David Sims is my favorite.
Oh,
Uh, oh no, his mic just fell over. David Sims is my favorite movie critic right now, and he writes for the Atlantic. That's the blank check
okay.
guy. Um, so, but that's part of the beauty of being a mag fam. You can be like,
Yeah.
I like this journalist,
Sure.
and you wouldn't believe I have my New Yorker tote bag.
What?
Virtue signal much?
You listen to NPR also.
Listener, just so you know, this whole time Anthony has been reassembling his mic.
Completely fell apart. I'm sorry about that.
All right, I'll be done with my what's giving us life. Let me know what you're thinking.
That's super good. Okay, I am totes gels, and I want all those things. And my birthday's coming up, but I also still want the Blackwing subscription
Right.
also, and I want lots of stuff. There was one other thing that I was thinking about that I really want for my birthday. Oh yeah,
A
I want the
colonoscopy.
Dojo. I want the right
What?
colonoscopy, and I want the Kamado Joe, the Dojo. It's a pizza oven
Oh,
insert that
yes.
you put on your grill that I really want.
Bro, great idea. What a great present idea. So
Or
you
one of
this is
those,
like you make like what is it called? Not fire roasted pizzas, but like
right? Like, I mean, the super hot. I can't think of it either
I
right now.
can't think of it either. We're
It's on
tired,
a
folks.
stone,
One
a
of
pizza
those.
stone, and
Yep. Yeah.
um,
Pizza
okay, so
oven
I want that.
pizzas. I don't know if you call it that, but that would be amazing. Okay.
Yep. Okay, one just bonus life-giving chicken al pastor is back at Chipotle,
Oh
and
no, I forgot to text you about it when I saw it. I want to be the one to tell you
I mean,
and to
I
celebrate it
Mr.
with you.
Aaron,
Uh-huh.
the Mr. Aaron texted me,
Yeah.
and so I got one. Okay, first of all, it's delicious, but it's not as good as I remember it from last year. So I don't know if they changed the recipe or I've only had it once, and I think they overcooked the chicken, but it was still tangy
Mm.
and sweet and a little spicy. It is still like actually my mouth is watering. I want to go get it again.
I have not had this iteration of it, so maybe that's another Gomer update.
Okay.
I think I only had it once also. And so
Yeah. Well.
ever since I saw it pop up in whatever feed it was, I was
Hmm.
like, I can't wait.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So that's an update. Go check that out.
Mm.
But that's not my one. Because I talked about that last year. Real quick, life giving. Okay, so I have been doing a terrible job. This is a follow up on unpack your suitcase right away. Which then we were like, remember that time where it was actually Erin that unpacked my suitcase? Remember, she was
I
listening to
do.
the episode. She started laughing. Um, and so I've been traveling a lot in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The U2 trip. I
Yep.
went to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
We did a California tour. And so I have not followed my advice. And I've had two different suitcases next to my side of the bed for like 6 weeks.
Full?
Just like some running stuff in one, some rocks that I picked up on a beach in Santa Barbara for the girls in another
Sure,
one.
sure. Why not?
you know and so our room was getting to be a disaster, just a little bit, a light disaster. If
Sure.
Missy and Mark are listening to this, they came over, they saw it. And what was life-giving is 2 days ago I was like, I'm sick of this, and I had a few hours in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, just I cleaned it all up,
Mm.
unpacked,
Mm.
put a bunch of stuff away, and then I cleaned all the bathrooms in our house.
Wow, a
It was one of those
rampage.
eat the frog afternoons where you do one thing and then it just leads to another, to another, to another.
Yes, indeed.
Clearly not to my studio yet. Still can't tell.
I want to see it on the screen.
I got to get it blurred vision. I got to just start doing blurred for YouTube.
No, it
Just
looks
kidding.
fine to me.
Yeah, it actually is fine. There's like almost nothing in here. But the life-giving part of it was that sometimes eating a frog, like cleaning your house
Mm-hmm.
or unpacking your suitcase or organizing your books or
Yep,
throwing away a bunch of papers or your read tools, getting them all organized,
of course.
it seems like an arduous task, but it's actually more life-giving than, dude, like going to get a massage
Yeah.
or just knocking off one day and just sitting around having a lay down day. It was
Netflixing
so
and chilling.
life-giving. Totally. So life-giving to just
Yeah.
clean the place up. And then
Yep.
Erin came home and she was so blown away and surprised because I think she just looks away at my
Oh, no.
suitcases.
Can I just say how much of what you're talking about right now like relates to the doctor conversation we just had?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I would add something to the list you just did, which is colonoscopy, right? Like sometimes
Add that.
cleaning it out
Mm-hmm.
gives life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was kind of like all preceding this big audition that I had
Yeah.
and all this stuff that we've gone through with that and preparation for that and the
Yep.
back end of that. And so it was just kind of like a reset that I needed. And that was insanely life giving.
I
So,
love that, dude. All right.
mhm.
Add colonoscopy to the list and our lives will be complete.
Wow, that's a big to do.
All right, listener, we want to hear your thoughts on all this. I feel like there's been some very interesting themes in this episode
Hmm.
of just doing it. What do you think
Hmm.
about that? Best place to contact us is on Instagram. You can find all links to all things Gomers in our bio. You can call us on the Gomer phone. That number is
608-622-7669. That's 608 NBA Pony.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe or follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever podcast app you're listening to right now. Thank you to Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics, Adam, our webmaster, and Lindsay, our social media maestro. And thank you especially to our Gomertrons. You subscribe to our second podcast, The Bonus Disc, on Patreon, and that is not only home of our monthly movie show, Perfect Movie, where we just covered Return of the Jedi, The Godfather, Happy Gilmore, but extra episodes like Perfect Movie Robot, Two Gomers Go To You Too, and more. Much, much more, up to 4 episodes per month, depending on the level at which you subscribe. All that is at patreon.com/2gomers. We welcome your support and we thank you.
Sweet dude. Well, like Dr. Knudsen said, go to the doctor. Maybe this episode will be a life-saving episode.
I mean, what that text I got said, screening save lives, right? And so
Hmm.
I actually believe that. I got to stop putting it off now, especially now that you're 45.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do it, bro.
Wow.
That's a Gomer
Uh,
promise from us to you, nation.
yes. Okay. Content coming. There's 2 more C's. 7 C's so far. Is that it?
Yeah, they're going to keep coming.
Yep.
All right, dude. Great app.
Super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can go to the doctor or at least encourage each other to go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
challenge ourselves, clean our teeth, do all that stuff, you
Clean
can
our
too.
rooms.
Clean our
Sorry.
rooms, unpack our suitcases, get mags, go get chicken al pastor. You can too.
And happy running.
Sweet. All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Fantastic.
An unusually great app.
Yeah.
That was
I
crazy.
feel like they've been pretty great lately, dude.
Oh, me too, but I just didn't expect that one to be so good. I guess that's
I
fine.
know. I think fun topics that are light but important, that's like bread and butter.
Maybe like less pressure. Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it's
And
really good
also,
when we do the big ones that have a lot more pressure, but
yeah,
I like these.
I
Okay,
know.
I'm going to
Me
stop
too.
this audio
All
or
right.
this video recording.